Here's my basic position on the next Trump administration. I am not someone who thinks that the norms or the institutions are going to save us or whatever. No, I do not think that. I do not think that saving us or being saved or anything is a really relevant category here because it suggests a sort of binary relationship. Either we're saved from fascism and tyranny and authoritarianism, or we are not saved and thus we are doomed. But that's just not how human societies work. Things are a continuum. There are degrees. Things can go very bad. They can get worse. This can happen quickly. It can happen slowly. It can happen somewhere in between. Things can become terrible in one dimension and not so terrible in another dimension. It is complicated and it's contingent. This is the word I want you to remember. It's contingent. It depends on human action, on circumstances, on path dependency, on structural realities, on institutional rules. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on individual people making specific choices at key moments. Which brings me to sort of my second point. There are threats and there are dangers, and the threats and dangers that people have spoken about over the last year are true. They are real. But a threat and a danger is still something that could happen. It isn't something that has happened. It's something that might become reality. It's not something that is reality. A lot of you, in my observation, are treating the worst thing, are treating the threat, are treating the danger as if it's an accomplished fact, fait accompli. But it isn't. It still depends. If the worst is going to happen, it still depends on human action and human agency, which means that it's not guaranteed. When I look ahead, I think there's going to be a lot of bad stuff. I don't know specifically what that bad stuff is going to be. I don't know. I think there is a real danger, a real threat of things unraveling. But because the unraveling is not going to be an automatic and mechanical process, this isn't a row of dominoes, because any unraveling is going to be the product of specific actions and by specific people. It's going to be a contingent event. That means it is within the capacity to change it, to make it less worse, to make it such so that it doesn't happen at all. And that's my view, that we've been dealt a bad hand. Our decision matrix has a lot of bad choices, but we still have agency. There are still mechanisms and levers. And it is not a given that what the other side wants, they're going to get. I'll put it this way. Trump doesn't care about the law. This is true. The people around him don't care about the law. But just because they don't care about the law doesn't mean the law ceases to exist. The law is a relationship. It's a relationship between people in the society. So they may not care about the law, but that doesn't mean every single judge doesn't care about the law. That doesn't mean every single attorney general doesn't care about the law. That doesn't mean every single governor doesn't care about the law. That doesn't mean every single member of Congress doesn't care about the law. They may not care about the law. Doesn't mean every single bureaucrat doesn't care about the law. This is just an example. What it's supposed to illustrate is that they may not care, but whether that becomes something real, whether that means the law no longer matters, depends on the actions of other people. Some of those people are us, some of those people are not us. Either way, those actions can be shaped, those actions can be molded, those actions can be influenced. If you don't believe any of this is true, then I don't know why you're even paying attention to politics. But if you're paying attention to politics, you should have implicitly believe that this is true. And you should take it seriously. And it should encourage you, and I hope inspire you, to take action however you can.